Hello, welcome to Girl Talk with Virginia. And right now, we are in our series of Be Empowered, Better Empowered Girl Talk series. And in this series, we are focusing on helping professional women continue to strive to be their best, to continue leveling up. Because right now, in the midst of everything that's going on, it's full of anxiety. We have worries, fears, doubts and a lot of things that's going on with the economy, finances, family, just an abundance of things that's kind of like testing our strength and our perseverance right now in our lives and in our careers. So, this series, the B series, Girl Talk series, we're going to focus on helping you to be better empowered so that you can manage your stressors, your overwhelm, and anything else that you feel like is going to keep you from being your best. So, this series, Better Empowered, the Be Empowered series, is going to help you to tap into that superwoman that's laying in there, that's helping you to strive to continue to be your best. And I am Virginia Manning, and I am always here to help you, to work with you. It is my pleasure to continue helping professional women strive to be their best because we always want to tap into that superwoman. So, for years, I didn't think that I was the things that I have in relation with being better empowered is that for years as a professional woman, I always was struggling with how I felt about myself, how I thought about how I was progressing in my career. And once I learned the power of being empowered, I began to thrive. I began to know what I deserved. I began to know that I was able to do anything that I wanted because I was always empowered to be better. As a professional woman, I started off as a substitute teacher and I graduated from school and I thought it was going to be super easy for me to get a job. But I had to learn how to feel like I was good enough. I had to change my thinking. I had to change the way I proceeded with things that were challenging to me. And I just had to know that I had to empower myself to know that I'm always capable of being the best me. And that's what this Better Empowered Girl Talk series is about in tapping into that superwoman. So here's to the superwoman in you. So the first thing we want to focus on is your emotional intelligence. What are you telling yourself about what you can do and what you cannot do? How's that affecting you going to your next level? How is it affecting you functioning in a calm and a bold environment to where you're continuously leveling up and going to your next level of success? So, how well do you handle when others tell you things about what it is that they see that you can do or need to improve to be better? Because there's a difference between taking criticism and using it to improve and be better and taking criticism as an insult. So that's one way you can check your emotional intelligence. How are you being productive with the critiques that people are giving you? Are you using it to your advantage? Or are you taking it as insults and continuing to live within the fear and worries of anxiety of being the better you? So that's a part of the emotional intelligence is that you have to assess yourself. Where are you at right now? And a lot of times, the criticism that people give you or the critiques will help you to assess where you are at in your emotional intelligence. How are you feeling about yourself? How should you be feeling about yourself? And the difference is that sometimes people take that critique and criticism as insults instead of taking it as inspiration to rise to your next level. So you have to ask yourself, how are you taking the feedback that others are giving you? Are you using it to your advantage? Or are you using it to continue to only look at your fears, worries, and doubts about what you can be and what you need to do to level up? You need to be empowered. Being empowered, you are better in your career, you are better with working with your family, and you are better at balancing your life when you are empowered and you take those criticisms and those critiques that people give you and you use them as constructive feedback to help you be a better you emotionally so that you can contain and manage the worries, fears, and the anxieties that you are feeling right now in the midst of everything that's going on in the world. So that's what you do with emotional intelligence. How are you feeling? How are you using those feelings to improve and be a better person? And look at another thing that you could do with your emotional intelligence. If you assess yourself and you use the constructive criticism from other people, you can be ahead of the game. You can use that constructive criticism, you can use that self assessment, you can use all of those things to think ahead and think about how you can be proactive in improving the way you feel about what's going on in your life at the moment. You can be ahead of situations. So, say if you are ahead of situations such as how things are going in your job and you usually are worried about it, you're usually fearful of if you're going to perform well. You're usually fearful of if you're going to get that promotion that you've been working hard for. And sometimes your mind will tell you you're not good enough. You won't make it. You can't have those things. But if you already know yourself because you've done a self assessment, you've looked at the things that other people have told you about how you are so that you can analyze the things that you need to do. When you think ahead and be proactive instead of reactive, you can manage those emotions that will keep you in fear and in your level of lack. This is about better empowered. You are better when you are empowered. And empowerment means that you have that emotional intelligence to assess yourself and use those assessments to strive to be better and get to your next level of success. And how are you communicating those messages of fear, worries, and doubts? Are you being aggressive, passive, or assertive? That's very important because when you assess yourself or when you take the criticisms and the critiques that other people are giving you, how are you communicating those messages? Are you being aggressive about it, like being angry and upset? Or are you being passive, as in you're not saying anything, you're just being quiet and just letting those things take over? That's very important because emotionally you want to be in tune and you want to be able to communicate your feelings, thoughts, and expressions as they arise. And you want to express those things in a positive way, which means you want to be assertive. You want to be on top of your emotions. You want to be able to manage them. You want to be able to communicate those things to other people so that when certain things arise and certain situations come into play, that you're able to communicate those things effectively. And effectively means you're expressing yourself in an assertive manner. You're emotionally intelligent enough to know that how I'm expressing myself is very positive, it's being productive, it's not being negative, it's not being angry, and I'm not just sitting around letting things take over. You have to be assertive. Communicate things as they come about. Be positive, be respectful, but you have to address them as they come. And you have to address them in a respectful and calm manner. You don't want to address your feelings and your emotions aggressive, and you don't want to just sit around and let things just take over until they become so unmanageable till you feel like you don't have a grasp on anything that you're trying to do. So, how are you communicating your emotions, your feelings, your worries, your doubts, your overwhelm? And it's okay to have those things, but it's important to manage them intelligently, which means you have to have your emotions intact and you have to know how to express those emotions so that they don't go against you. They help you to be better and they help to empower you to be a better person because at the end of the day, everything that you've worked hard for everything that you continue to work hard for, you want to continue building on those things. You don't want to go backwards and let your emotions take over and take you under and have you to where you're not progressing. The thing about being better empowered is that you always move forward in the midst of whatever may be blocking you at the moment, whatever situation may be overcoming you, whatever situation may seem like it's too much. You are empowered to take over and to not let those things keep you from leveling up and having the success that you need to have in life. So, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do an assessment of yourself. That's very important. Because not only do you just wait around for the assessment of other people and what other people have to say about you, but you have to be emotionally intelligent enough that you assess yourself. You have to assess yourself to see, okay, what is it that I am doing well with my emotions? How are my emotions affecting my decisions right now? How are my emotions affecting my performance? How are my emotions affecting my relationships? Write down those range of emotions that you're feeling. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling fears, worries, doubts, sadness, happy, whatever emotions you find yourself feeling, because it's important for you to know yourself, write those emotions down. And then you have to decide to analyze where your triggers are. What's triggering the fear? What's triggering the anxiety? What's triggering your happiness? What's triggering your sadness? And then you have to communicate with yourself so that you will know ahead of time what it is you need to do when you're feeling those emotions. So if you're feeling the emotion of happiness, just think about, why am I feeling happy right now? Is it the time of day? Is it something that I did that was successful? Is it somebody gave me some encouraging words? And then you will know that when you start feeling sad or overwhelmed, well, then I need to activate those things that make me feel happy. Whether it is you write encouraging things to yourself or you tell yourself encouraging things, whatever it is that you need to do to overcome those feelings that are going to keep you stuck and keep you from feeling empowered, that's what you need to do. Because emotionally, you have to be in tune with yourself and you have to know how to manage those emotions. So keep an assessment, keeping a self-awareness journal. That's what you can call it, is a self-awareness journal. You have to know yourself and you have to know the triggers that's activating certain emotions so you can be ahead of it. You have to be proactive so that you don't let those emotions affect you in a negative way. And that's how you become emotionally intelligent. You be in tune with yourself. You know the strategies and tips and tools you need to help you overcome whatever negative emotions that you may be feeling or whatever negative situations that you're facing. And you use the positive to overcome the negative. So that is today's session of Girl Talk with Virginia, is about emotional intelligence. And we are in this series of Better Empowered Girl Talk. And for this next 7 weeks, we are going to be going into some tips and tools of how you can be better empowered. Because as a professional woman, you come across a lot of situations that try to keep you stuck. Right now, we're in the midst of a pandemic. So of course it's hard to work from home. It's hard to think about the finances, think about the family. So those things will keep you feeling like you cannot rise above. So that's what this whole Better Empowered Girl Talk series is for the next 7 weeks. And I want you to stay tuned and I want you to subscribe and rewatch and take notes and do the assignments and the action steps that it would take to help you be empowered. Because there's a lot to just talking about being empowered, but you also have to know how to put the actions in place to be empowered. And that's what Girl Talk with Virginia, this Better Empowered series, is going to give you step by step actions to help you rise above any situation, any feelings, anything that's going to keep you from rising to your next level of success. So I wanted you to tune in next Monday at 1 p.m. for Girl Talk with Virginia, this Better Empowered series, because next week we're going to talk about how to develop mental strength. Can you stand the pressures of life that keep you from your B, from better empowered? This is what this is about. We're going to be better empowered together. And I know that this series is going to bless your life. It's going to help take you to your next level of prosperity. It's going to take you to your next level of success because we are better empowered. I will see you next week where we dig into your mental strength, because on top of emotional intelligence, it takes mental strength to be the best you can be. And that's what this is about. We're going to prosper under pressure. So I see you next week for Girl Talk with Virginia, 1 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe because you want to go back and rewatch and you don't want to miss the next episode in this series, because we are going to go to our next level of success together. See you next week. Thank you for tuning in.